Let's talk about leads, and with let's talk about leads, I don't talk about traffic and where to get people from A to B and all that stuff. Let's go a little bit deeper and talk about why you collect leads, what can a lead accept, and what actually is a lead, and some really cool stuff I'm sure you can use, so stay tuned. Well, as you may recognize, a lot of people are just putting out opt-in pages, lead capture pages, quiz pages, info pages, freebie pages, or whatever it will be, just to collect leads. In my career as coach or mentor, or even by myself, I realized that a lot of people do not go deep into, let's say, a buyer's or upcoming customer brain or mind. Actually, a lead is not more and not less people. Yeah, every lead is a person. Leads are people. And actually, what are they looking for? And what do you have to offer? That's probably a core question you should ask yourself. So imagine every lead, even it's online, believe me, these are human beings who are watching on a computer desktop or on the smartphone or whatever. So the question is what they are looking for and what do you exactly have to offer, and not just what you have to offer, what do you want to do if you collect a lead? What do you do? I mean, I know that many people who have, I don't know, lists of 500,000 or 2,000 people, and they made no sales at all. And we want to talk about two different things. Collect leads because of email. That's what I'm really bad at, but I'm on a learning curve at the moment, so it's getting better and better. And we talk about phone leads. That's actually my core skill, as you may know. So everything starts with what is a person or a lead looking for, and what do you have to offer? And if you don't know what you have to offer, you have a big problem anyway, because ask yourself, if you don't know exactly what you're offering, what the heck would you write in an email? Or actually, that's a big point why people ask me, oh, what should I say on the phone? If you would know what you're selling, you would know what you talk about, right? Even with email, text messages, or on the phone or whatever. So let's have a look what you can do. We actually, I'm gonna go into the generic lead generation stuff, and we go over the specific lead generation stuff. What is better, what is not better, I don't know, it's a strategical question, but I want to give you some examples. A generic page is actually, let's say, generic is sport or food. And imagine if you have a sports store, or if you have a food store like, I don't know, Walmart or whatever. So if you go really generic on an opt-in page, that means, hey, you're interested in sport, okay? Or, hey, a newsletter from Walmart or so, they will send you different stuff, because the generic shit of sports or food is the content of this thing can be anything. You know, I mean, you can, if you have a list, a generic list who are interested in sport, you probably don't know if they're interested in fitness, sports shoes, t-shirts, are they interested in kind of ergometer stuff or whatever it will be. So you can send these leads, actually your whole shop stuff you have to offer in different ways. You know that from normal paper ads, advertising, newspapers from even Walmart or wherever. You will find Coca-Cola, you will find some chicken wings, you will find anything, and probably you find something cool. That's generic stuff. So that means you will collect a lot of more leads in a generic opt-in page or newsletter stuff than if you go the specific way. In other words, if you go generic, people are probably, intention is they are looking for information, but not for specific information. They're just watching for information. So if you probably make a page like, I don't know, paleo recipes, that can be anything. But if you go for paleo desert recipes, you are going the specific way. And the specific way is almost, let's say, easier to close a deal. I mean, if you go and you say, not in a generic page, you will say sport, and on a specific page, you will say golf shoes. So probably someone who is interested in golf shoes will opt in on a generic page, hopefully magically probably get an offer for golf shoes. But if you go for a highly specific page with a highly specific communication where you communicate, hey, golf shoes, probably a soccer player or someone who is interested in Adidas soccer or running shoes from Nike will not opt in here. So you have a highly specific page. And what I recognize is a lot of people are going the generic way to hopefully give them enough infos until they have a solution, until they find a solution where they will give you money in exchange for the solution, so then you can close the deal. In other words, you probably have a generic page. You can easily fill this up with, I don't know, 500 leads per week or so. While you go the specific way, you probably have 100 or even 50, but these 50 people or these 50 leads are highly interested in what you have to offer. And now let's have a look on the other side. I mean, what is the mind of someone who is opted in into generic page? As I said, if it's highly generic like sports, or even let's say how to make an income from home, or how to learn this online stuff, or whatever it will be, you can provide these leads with a whole bunch of stuff and probably hopefully think, oh, that is something for them or not. Hope you get that. I mean, it's like even how to make money online. That's really generic stuff. You can make money online with trading, you can make money online with e-commerce stuff, by flipping websites, by whatever it will be. So these guys are probably just looking for information. But if you go for how to make money by selling sport or soccer shoes, you will attract just these people, okay? And what I realized while I'm learning this email marketing stuff, there are two facts and two golden nuggets I will give you here. If you collect in leads, let's say from Facebook or from Google, with Google ads or Facebook ads, you have to understand what is this person are doing right now, why they see your ad. It's a whole different level if someone is seeing your ad on Facebook or if someone is seeing your ad on Google, which is the actual situation of this person and the actual workflow they do. I mean, if someone is looking on Google and actually type in, I'm looking for an apple pie recipe, you probably win with a specific page, okay? But the chances are someone who is scrolling his Facebook timeline are looking in this moment for an apple pie recipe is near zero. Okay, so it's a whole different think level. So you have to adjust the ads, just by the way. But what happened now is, and here another golden nugget, if you go for generic stuff and you have here, that's my core skill, a phone team behind the scene, the generic page who people are opted in are, the better have to be the sales force, okay? And here's why. If you go for a generic stuff, you have a generic collecting lead page and they get something, that's why they opted in, and they probably get the first information. If this is an information or if this is a, hey, buy here, a sales letter or whatever, it depends on what kind of strategy and tactic you are using here. But anyway, if it's really high generic, I mean, let's make an example with sport. And these people went to a container where they have the phone numbers. So you have to have a sales force in place who actually know anything about sports stuff. So you have to call this lead and you have to first figure out what they are really looked for. Hope you get it. So it's much more harder to close a deal out of a generic generated lead than with a specific generated lead. It's much, much more harder. And I prefer always, every day, specific as much as possible with a diamond solution, as much as high concentrated as humanly possible, So this collecting lead, get some bridge page, get the information. So it's really easy for someone on the phone to call these leads and get in touch to figure out, is everything okay and can we close the deal right now. Anyway, if you go for the generic, but this is the specific way. And actually, I don't know, I do not see the sense in kind of email stuff, but I'm probably wrong with that. I'm not good in it, I just learn it. If you do a specific page and you send this email to a salutation presentation or so, I believe that the closing rate is much more lower if you go with an email than if you just will call and ask, hey, have you seen the presentation? Have you seen the solution? Have you understand everything? Or is there anything you have to know about that? I mean, if I call people, they probably have just one question and they will buy it. And to realize what it is, I have to call with them and I don't know how to figure it out with email. Anyway, if you go the generic way, that's what I'm actually doing with a project, which works well, but it's highly generic. I have in place actually 9 products, and I deliver these leads who are opted in here, the first salutation on the first product on the first page they see after they opt in. But anyway, it's a highly generic build stuff, so probably they don't like what they see here. Could be, because it's generic. What happened then is, because it's generic, I sent these people email after email after email after email after email daily in different conversation path and conversion path to probably find someone as something that will fit for this generic lead. And I provide them with free trainings like you just watched right now. I provide them with actual products I used to overcome XYZ, to reach goal ABC, whatever it will be, and probably they are interested in. And I do this just with email to learn it. I don't call them, but I learned that to just ramp up my whole sales stuff, because I think it seems like a good idea, but it's a hard learning curve. And on the other side, that's why I love this phone call stuff. If you collect leads and you talk with marketers on where they get traffic from and how the opt-in or lead page is built with the communication, not with the tool absolutely unnecessary. The headline and the first message will weed out if someone is qualified or pre-qualified or not. So if you lie on a page which is highly specific, it's your fault, okay? So what I mean with specific, you can actually go, you probably heard about this funnel stuff. What I do with specific things, I just target these people right over here. And to make sure that I can close the deal, I always have a phone in place. That's why I collect phone numbers. And I also know that someone who is coming from Facebook, who is scrolling his timeline, is absolutely probably not that interested to watch, I don't know what kind of salutation I have here, because I interrupt something from them, okay? Hope you get it. If I do the same stuff from Google, the chances are someone is actually in this moment looking for a solution is much more higher, because he type it in, is similar to Bing or so. So the question, the crucial point is, if someone opted in from Google, the closing rate exactly here is much more higher than from actually Facebook. But if I call this lead, just to make sure they get everything right, they understand everything or whatever it will be, I can close a deal immediately and let's say all day, every day, if the communication here is working well, with the communication on the bridge page, with the communication on the salutation presentation. If this communication fits together, you will close deals all day, every day, if you know how to close deals on the phone. Again, in the sum, please, if you build a capture page, again, think about, would you do it generic? Would you do it specific? What is the actual goal and the intent behind collecting leads? What do you really want to do? And then think about what is the buyer's mind or your upcoming customer's mind. What is he or she thinking? And what is your seller's mind? What is your intention to get in with these leads? I mean, it makes no sense as a salesperson just to inform people, because informing is not sales and sales is not closing, and informed people will actually never route to a close. So my intention is always close the deal in exchange to a solution, to money, to move these people as much or move these people forward in the shortest time humanly possible. If I want to make money now, which is my job, I want to make money now. People hire me to make money now, not just to discuss stuff. So I want to make sure I have highly specific stuff in place to solve their actual problem, and I will communicate that in a highly specific way. Even if I have one product, I probably have 4 or 5 solutions to deliver. I will make 4 or 5 different specific pages. But anyway, what are you doing with these leads? That's the big question. What is the workflow a lead going through? If they see your capture page, what do you communicate on the headline, in the video, in the sub-headlines, bullet points, whatever? What are you doing? Is it generic? Is it specific? Then what they accept on the first page they see, what they accept in the emails you write, what they accept if someone is calling the leads. You have to sit down and make this basic stuff until you ever thought about push any pages or anything online. I hope that makes sense. See you in the next training. And don't forget to subscribe my YouTube channel, leave me a comment, hook me up. If I can support you by increasing your sales, increasing your closing rate, or decrease your work time, you know where you find me. Thanks a lot. Cheers.